And one of the things that worries me as well around the safety is there's potentially talks around turning Australia into a night race. And then if you have fans potentially breaking onto the track at night,
Okay,
is even worse.
just before we go on to that, are they doing it because it's like a spectacle under the lights, or are they doing it for time zone reasons?
So
Do you know?
for me, I think it's both. I think that Australia has, I think it has a contract until 2027, I believe. And I think that potentially, I remember what we were saying because we were messaging each other a little bit during the race, and you said that they can't cut Australia because they can't cut out essentially an entire region. And I completely agree with that. But in all honesty, this is the FIA. They very easily could, for zero reason.
FIA or FOM?
FOM, sorry.
FOM, yeah, cool.
And so my thing around that is that with older tracks, and Melbourne is a slightly older track, being taken off of the calendar, they've already improved the racing down there by taking away that weird chicane halfway through the second sector. And then paired with the fact that Europeans, and I don't know what time it would have meant that Americans were staying up to or waking up for, but it's an awkward time for Europeans. If you make it an evening race, so instead of it starting at 3, it starts at 7, if in Australia, that you're pushing that back 3 or 4 hours, and then it becomes an 11 o'clock start for Europeans. That's much more appealing. And it's under the lights, so it makes it even more appealing to a wider fan base, not just Europeans. So I think it could be potentially a little bit of both. The threat of being removed off of the calendar, I think, is probably the biggest one, and also make it a spectacle and stuff like that. What I would actually quite like, and I think this would be a very good idea, is for them to actually say, "Hey, the sprint race will be under the lights. We're going to do a sprint race in Australia, and then the race will be normal."
Nah. I think
Why
the
not?
sprint race will be during the day because it's smaller. It's larger spectacle, more of an audience for the main race.
True, but not as many people tune in for the sprint races. So maybe
that's why
1
they'll do it
year.
during the day. No, that's why they'll do it during the day.
Well, maybe they would do it during the night so that Europe could tune in.
Nah, no way.
I think either or works, but I would like to see a day-night sprint normal race. I think that would be pretty interesting.